Hunting for Answers is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network and iHeartRadio. Welcome to Hunting for Answers, a true crime podcast. I'm your host, Hunter. On the afternoon of November 2nd, 2012, a school bus pulled away from a neighborhood in Greenville, Texas. Among the students who stepped off was a 16-year-old girl. Home was only a short walk away, just moments from the place she was supposed to be. By nightfall, her family was searching. So were the police. No one knew that before the search was over, it would lead miles from home. This is the story of Alicia Moore. Before her name became the focus of an investigation, she was Alicia Chanta Moore. She was a 16-year-old who lived in Greenville, Texas. Friday, November 2nd, 2012 began like any other school day. That afternoon, at approximately 3:25 p.m., Alicia stepped off her school bus near home. She was last seen walking toward the house, but this time, she never arrived. When Alicia did not come home, her family knew that something was wrong. She had not called. There was no indication she planned to go anywhere else. As daylight faded, no one knew where Alicia was. Patrol cars moved through Greenville's streets. Investigators worked to piece together Alicia's last known movements. They released few details publicly. For her family, each passing hour brought more questions than answers. Then, on November 6th, more than 40 miles from Greenville, a construction worker made a discovery along a rural road in Van Zant County. An antique-style wooden trunk had been left beside the road. When authorities opened it, they found the body of 16-year-old Alicia Moore. In an instant, the search for a missing teenager became a homicide investigation. The discovery marked the beginning of a new phase in the case. Investigators secured the scene as they documented the evidence. The wooden trunk became central to the investigation. The medical examiner later confirmed the remains were those of Alicia Moore. Her death was ruled a homicide. But many questions remained. Who was responsible? And how did a teenager end up more than 40 miles from home? Over the months that followed, investigators said very little publicly. Behind the scenes, they continued the investigation. Forensic evidence was collected. Interviews were conducted. Investigators worked to reconstruct Alicia's last known movements. The wooden trunk remained a key piece of evidence. Months passed, but the investigation did not stop. Then in May of 2013, the case took a major turn. Investigators announced the arrest of Michael Vincent Moore, Alicia's great-uncle. Authorities said DNA evidence linked Moore to both Alicia and the wooden trunk where her body had been found. He was charged with capital murder. The arrest brought some answers for Alicia's family, but it was not over. The case moved to court. Ultimately, it would be up to the jury to decide whether the evidence proved the case beyond a reasonable doubt. In late 2013, the jury returned its verdict. Michael Vincent Moore was found guilty of murder in the death of Alicia Moore. He was sentenced to life in prison. For Alicia's loved ones, the verdict brought the trial to an end, but it could never undo what had been taken from them. Alicia Moore was 16 years old. She should have made it home. Our thoughts are with her family and loved ones. Let's continue sharing Alicia's story. For more cases and updates, follow Hunting for Answers. You can also join in our Facebook group and find us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And as always, if there's a story you believe deserves attention, we'd love to hear from you. Thank you for joining us for another episode. Until next time. Hunting for Answers is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network. For more podcasts from the Black Effect Podcast Network, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.